Hey all, this is Patrick again, and I wanted to start a video on my slimline pens and what I do to mark them up and create the pens and go through the whole process so that everybody can see my process for it. Everybody's got kind of their own process for creating pens, and I'm going to take a series of videos on how I make them for a couple of reasons. One, got a lot of video I want to edit and a lot of video I want to play with. I do not have a photography background, so lighting and audio and all this is new to me. So the only way to really get into it and try it is to jump in with both feet and try it and see how things turn out. So in this session I wanted to kind of go over what I do for marking up the slimline pens and what I do from there. So I'll do a series of short videos of each stage of the process to kind of keep them short. Hopefully I can get better at this and not have to edit so much and just straight to video, right, and go that way. So what I have here is my next set of 10 templates, blanks that I'm going to do. I just picked some random wood that I had from the Woodcraft 30 pen kit, as well as I bought the 100 pen blank to try to go through and make some pens. So the process I use for this is I take the blanks, and I'm trying to fix the camera right here and hold it with one hand while I do this. So I start with putting the camera down. So what I start by doing is taking a blank and then marking on here where I want to make my cuts. So I leave about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch on either side, and then I mark a line with where I want to make the cut on the bandsaw to cut the blanks, and then I'll do the same thing on this side. I like using a marker for this process because it's about the width of the blade that I have on my saws, so it just makes it easier to acknowledge that when I'm cutting the blanks. So here I have what will be the bottom of the pen and what will be the top of the pen, and then from here, I'm going to make these cuts to shape them and size them appropriately for the tubes. What I'll also do here is I will mark kind of this set so that I don't lose what the top and bottom is and what the middle is for those. And then what I'll do is I'll just keep going through this process. I'm working on a better template to be able to do this and speed through this a little bit better, but for now this works. I make about 10 pens a week. That's what I have been making, so through trial and error and everything else, it seems to work well. It's a good pace for me with everything else that I have going on. So again, bottom and top, this time I'll put 2 lines on there. I'll just set those aside. So I'll batch these up and do 10 at a time, like I said, and then I'll go out into the garage where it's the frozen tundra right now, and I will cut these all up and do each stage of this with the pens that I have. Now, as you can see with these blanks, they've already been used, they've already been glued in and removed from failed projects that I've done. All got to start somewhere though, right? So there's the bottom, there's the top, different color, use a 1 there. One thing I found after cutting these up is you really, it's nice that you can mark these in a certain way before you turn them. But once you start turning them, you start losing like which is the top, which is the bottom, because obviously when you turn the blanks here, once you turn it down, you're going to lose all writing on here, right? So I have a system that I use with the lathe, and I always put which side of the blank towards the lathe, the front of the lathe, so that way I keep track when I take them on and off, and then I put them in that little holder that I have. And I always put the centers down, so that way I never lose track of which way they go. Now again, you can really follow whatever system you want or have for these. I've seen a lot of different ways that people do these. Using a square to keep the mark square. My bandsaw blade cuts crooked anyway, so I always leave just a little bit extra so that I know which way is up, if you will. Again, this is my first series of videos, so not sure how these are gonna turn out, but we shall see. And anybody that's watching any of my videos, please feel free to comment, make suggestions on technique, whether it be for the camera, the output of these sessions, or even my budding skills as a turner, if you will. I tend to watch a lot of videos and do a lot of research before I get into things, so I'm usually pretty confident on where to go, but you know, I appreciate feedback, constructive criticism, if you will, from each step of the process. So that's pretty much it. That's how I go ahead and mark up all the blanks. Now what I will do with these is I will take these out to the bandsaw later, and I will first cut the center line to break it into 2 blanks, and then I'll cut off the end piece to size it for the top of the pens. And then once that's done, the next step is to drill out the blanks. So that's another reason why I do these in batches, is just the setup time to excuse me, set up each piece in each stage. It's easier just to go through and do this all at once. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed this simple tutorial of how I mark up my pens, and again, I look forward to making the next video. Thank you.